What's up, everybody? Project Manga is back with episode 40 of the Special Grade Podcast. I'm your host, Nickums.
Nox.
Eagle.
As y'all know, we cover Undead Unluck, Kaiju number 8, Shangri-La Frontier, Ranger Reject, and the Elusive Samurai. Go ahead and check out the video description below for timestamps so you can skip spoilers of series you're not yet current in. And before we begin, just want to extend a huge thank you to everyone subscribed to this level of content on the Patreon. This is why we do this. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Special Grades. Yes.
A reminder for everyone, your subscription includes a special Discord role, granting you access to a private channel in the Project Manga Discord. So go ahead and link your Patreon account to your Discord account, and you can come hang with us in the Special Grade chat. A little, more intimate chat session. You might want to take advantage of that. It's part of your patronship.
Part of the package.
Part of the package. Part of the perks.
What you doing?
All right. Well, let's get in the chapters, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starting off with the Elusive Samurai, chapter 23, Homage, 1334.
Another color
Starting off with
page.
some color
Beautiful
page.
color page.
Fire.
The whole squad looking clean. Shizuku, motherfucking Ayako, Kojiro, Genba, Fukuki.
So, an interesting thing here, based on the uniforms, right? Like, the main squad, Tokiyuki, Kojiro, Ayako, and Shizuku or whatever. Well, Fubuki is different, right? The main four, they are in what seems to be, I think, based on the hats especially and the backpacks, elementary schooler uniforms.
Okay.
And Fubuki is in a middle school or high schooler uniform, right? At the very least, a different uniform than the kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he is meant to be portrayed as older. Genba also, if you look in the bottom right, Genba also has a hat on. Hats are very much like an elementary schooler type uniform thing, especially the backpacks too. So like, I think this is just like showing the age difference, right? Fubuki is older than everyone else by a few years. And but yeah, no, it's a great, colorful, throw them in the modern era type cover, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love I love he's waving the flag.
Mhm.
The Hojo flag.
Yeah. Legend of Zelda flag.
Yeah, or the Triforce, yeah.
Oh, it does have the Triforce on there.
But that is legitimately the Hojo crest.
The Hojo.
Yeah. No, it's been on all of his outfits or whatever. I
Right.
think the entire series, that Triforce or whatever. So that's cool.
Yeah, super sick.
But yeah, we start off with the aftermath of the Shokan fight. Everyone being like, "Damn, you literally beat this guy!" And hooray for the cowardly sword!
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, wait.
Come on!
Give me some slack here,
We
man."
got Sadamune rolling
Really?
in, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, that was so tense. I was
wasn't
like,
expecting it.
yeah, I wasn't ready
Yeah.
for there to be more enemies, especially these enemies right after
Mhm.
that. That was, I was like, oh shit, we don't even get to get a break here.
Right. He
Even
recognizes Chojumaru or whatever, right? He says that it's that boy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tries to blick him.
He literally tries to shoot him, and Tokiyuki obviously dodges.
Yeah. I love how they can use the because obviously this is a very tense situation, but that shot wasn't like intense, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like one that you'd have to be worried about, and he just kind of like dodges it, and it's almost comedic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's cool that that you can use his talent for comedy like that, so it's not always just like, oh, he really just dodged that fatal arrow just like nonchalantly, like, well, yeah, it's Tokiyuki, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd
A lot
like
of
to get
comedy in
a
this
panel
chapter.
even of the arrow, like, and then it's still just him like
Yeah.
all in time,
Matrix style or whatever. Yeah.
Right. But there is a gang of comedy in this chapter. I really like the bit at the end that we'll eventually get to. But anytime Sadamune is like on screen, there's just comedy that comes with his art.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because his eyes are always so wild.
His eyes are intense
Every
He's
time.
got
Again.
bags for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Sadamune rolling up. Fubuki commenting like, "Wow, he really took advantage of the situation well.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to retreat." and it's like, oh no, there's someone coming from behind, and it's like, oh damn, shit, is it like a pincer attack?
Yeah, I was like, no way are they doing this right now.
Right.
And then it's
for
the
a minute.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was honestly like, damn, is it gonna take a serious turn? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, like a loss after the hype of beating Shokan, beating these bandits or whatever. Are we gonna take like a turn for the more serious? But no, Yorishige with the reinforcements. Look at his sword.
Yeah, he's got a flamberge
sword.
Or something.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a.
Is that what that's called? Like the swirly, that wavy sword?
Yeah, I don't know if this one is like, you know, technically a flamberge, but like that's what, or flamberge. I don't even know if like what the actual. I don't even know like what the origin of the word is for how to pronounce it, but yeah, like you see squiggly swords. They're more Western though, like European swords usually. But they're right in the middle of Japan, and this is like historically like accurate. So I bet, you know, I don't know what the Japanese version of it is, but
but I've never seen a Japanese one of these.
Yeah, me neither. That's why. See, and you want to know what, dude? If it didn't have a katana fucking handle and guard,
is a katana hilt.
Yeah. If it didn't have the katana hilt, like, I'd be like, this dude has been to Europe or something, or I don't fucking know, you know, like I'd be like, where the hell did you get that? Who made that for you? You know, but I mean, hey, it's got a katana handle, so it's probably forged there. But yeah, you usually only see them in like Europe because they're like rapiers technically.
Yeah. This looks like a wavy katana. Yeah, it's very interesting. Sadamune sees the blood on the inside of the door where Tokiyuki defeated, quote unquote, Shokan.
Yeah, which makes sense for him to notice something like that. Way off in a corner in the distance. Yeah,
right. Being the eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Very, very wild, you know, jumping ahead a little bit based on, you know, Sadamune seeing this, that Shokan is literally alive, right? And I guess it makes sense, right? He's bleeding out. It's not like it's an instant kill, head cut off kind of situation.
Right.
But I kind of thought he was going to die, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. They really sold that those bleeding out scenes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This man was literally praying to God and fell out. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it makes sense though. You have to pass out
got a little bit after that.
Yeah, you got to pass out before you die. You know what I mean? So him just like dropping to the ground, you know, like we were like, damn, he's really dead. He's really out of here. And it's like, well, it doesn't have to be, but they can clearly come
to lame that he's not. But
it is kind of lame, but hey.
We'll talk more about it, you know, towards the end of the chapter because there's some good world building that it could be leading to or whatever. But right after this, powerful scene on page 9, you know, where Yorishige. Actually, before that, we get this introduction. I assume introduction. Maybe I've just forgotten this character, but like Yorishige's son.
Yeah. I think this is.
He looks clean. He looks cool.
Yeah, he does look cool. I bet you he's colored too in some kind of way. Yeah, I don't think
Yorishige has the confidence to send him like, hey, drive the bandits away. Go do it. Right. Like it doesn't. It seems like he's confident enough that he can. You know what I mean? Which is cool. Cool to have confident, competent, older characters in this story with a bunch of little kids. You know what I mean?
Keep his armor too. You know what I mean? Like he's got
armor.
Yeah, he's got the kind of he's wearing the kind of shit that would make you go, okay, it makes sense that Yorishige would just kind of tell him to go do his own thing. This dude's probably got all kinds of stripes in the as far as like military might, or as far as just personal power even.
Yeah,
these are probably his people, like for the most part. He's probably the general.
He's out here.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. But yeah, powerful, like this hug. You know what I mean? Like Yorishige hugging, Tokiyuki crying. Oh, he's literally crying on 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Drops the sword. Just like, wow, thanks. I'm glad you're unharmed. You know.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. And it's like, even though he's used as comedy or whatever, this for the most part in the series so far, like him not being able to see into the future was a massive point of anxiety for him. And even though they played it up as comedy when it first happened, because he's like, oh, he's following him everywhere and like hiding under carts and like staring at him, like at the end of the day, like that was all happening because he was legitimately worried. You know what I mean? So to bring it back without comedy and to now that the conflict is over does a lot for their characters, I want to say. Their relationship at least.
Right. Some comedy with Genba, you know, in terms of like, you know, the nosebleed type stuff or whatever. I saw a sexy girl on the way here.
Sanji type beat,
Sanji, about to die like Sanji here. But yeah, like this, leading perfectly. This whole scene starting on 10, right, where Tokiyuki is like, hey, like Fubuki did great work here. Give him some special consideration, Oh yeah, let's give him a reward. Also, I want him to be my retainer. It's like, oh, whoa, a retainer of some peasant kid? Like, I'm not trying to do that or whatever.
Bro, yeah.
And Yorishige like mouthing like, like this boy is the real ruler.
Hell yeah.
And then him spitting out his food, so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he lets it fly for real.
Yeah, shit has
he
some.
Said, I'm that man.
Oh! I thought you meant the rice coming out of his mouth. I was like, yeah, he's letting that shit fly. Shit. Look at that wingspan. Shit's got some PSI to it.
He reveals who he is, and I thought the inner monologue from Fubuki here was tight, where he's like, man, I thought he was hiding something, but not something this big. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the heir. He's got this kind of skill. Like, this is intense shit.
Ooh,
and this is
further solidification of that, character type of Fubuki, where he wants to foster talent in people and enjoys scoping that shit out and leading it to where it should be.
That's right. I was just about to comment on that. Right on the nose. Love that. Love that archetype for sure.
100%.
This man Shokan really lived, bro, and he's gonna be such a monster the next time too. Like,
I swear. Like those. Well, I mean, before that, let's just like.
Oh, sure.
I don't know the scene where, Fubuki's like, I shall step upon the world stage and draw out this princess.
Oh yeah. That quote was wild.
So fucking fire, bro.
Yeah.
That is tight. And I love his dialogue, right? Like, hey, for the record, I eat a lot of millet. If you're trying to have me as a retainer, for the record, I'm gonna eat a lot of millet. And it's like, you don't have to eat millet. Like, you could eat rice at our place. Yeah. It's like, oh shit,
yeah, like,
really?
Oh damn, y'all got money.
Damn, balling like that, huh?
Yeah. But I love how like the motivations are so different, but like so so they make so much sense, you know what I mean? They're also like organic feeling, you know what I mean? Because it's like I feel like in a world like this, it's very easy for like everyone to have really similar motivations and goals.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it looks like Genba is like really well done with his motivation for money and just wanting to fit in somewhere and like not always feeling like an outcast, even though he's a very jovial character. And he provides a lot of the comedy, and he has this huge personality. At the end of the day, you could tell psychologically that he feels disconnected from people, and he feels like he's never truly going to fit in somewhere. So his character arc is going to be incredible in that way. And then you have Fubuki, who like wants this glory of knowing that he took an entire nation back, and that his ruler took an entire nation back, and he brought the ability to do so out of that ruler. You know what I mean? Like everyone is here for the rest of their lives, guaranteed. You know what I mean? Because there's just so much, not just at stake, but there's so much to gain individually from reaching that shared goal. You know what I mean? It just feels so good. Like
definitely 100%.
Feels like One Piece once again.
right. Yeah. This is Fubuki's, all blue or whatever, you know what I mean? Like this is his thing is I'd love to make my mark on history by bringing out some person's like real potential and like and leading them to victory, right? Like he's obviously not trying to be the hero himself, you know what I mean? He's not like making a name for himself. He's totally willing to teach people, to lead strategy, to lead battles, that kind of stuff. Like it's very, very cool character. Very cool character.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Shokan is alive. Did not expect that, as we were saying before. I think it's very cool, honestly, like this direction.
Right.
To take him and have Sadamune simultaneously say, like, on page 16, like, why did you kill the villagers, you fucking idiot? Like, who's gonna work the fields? Who's gonna give us tax revenue? Think for a second. Come on. But your strategy in terms of warfare was incredible. Like, I do think you should be a true warrior, a proper warrior. I will give you land, serve me, like, legit, you know what I mean? Like, don't be a bandit. No more banditry, right? Like, very cool, very cool.
And as far as, like, the feeling of, like, we've been kind of, like, robbed from a satisfying ending to an arc almost inside of the survival of Shokan. What I think is cool about this is that enough death has happened, right, to where like we know that people are going to be killed. You know what I mean? We know that like not everyone is just going to slither away out of a back door. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the fact that we know that characters can die and do die, and this one didn't, means that Matsui has a big plan for the future of his character that's going to make future plot points, you know, cool in you know, in different ways or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though he was still lost entirely, Tokiyuki grew a great deal from that. The entire arc happened the way that it needed to, regardless of his survival. More antagonists after him are going to come and die, you know what I mean? But he's got a plan for Shokan, you know what I mean? And I can't wait to see like what that is, you know what I mean?
Right. 100%.
So I don't think it takes anything away that he survived. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna think like moving forward, like, oh, no one's gonna die, and you know, like they're gonna set it up and then pull the rug out from under us every time. I don't get that feeling from this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we've already gotten deaths this arc, you know what I mean? Like Fubuki killed France guy. And Ayako did the golf swing, you know, Naginata, this guy's head is out of here, you know, attack, right? So like people die, as you say. Now, the thing that really pops out to me on page 17, top of page 17, right? Where Sadamune has just told Shokan, like, I appreciate your strategy, be a warrior for me. And Shokan has this panel of like, he imagines the Buddha. He says, as you wish. I'm literally thinking, the next time he sees Tokiyuki, is he going to bow down to him?
Yeah, he's
and
like,
be
I can't kill this dude. Yeah,
I can't kill Tokiyuki. Like, I could be a warrior, but like, I probably, my heart and my allegiance might be, maybe someday, might be for Tokiyuki, actually. This might be a betrayal seated now.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think I thought about it as soon as you said top of 17, and I looked at the panel. I was like, I know exactly where he's going with this.
Yes, exactly. Right.
That's amazing. I need that. That'd be crazy.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm even more happy he lived, because that's gonna be so hype. If that ever happens,
a conflict, he's gonna run into him in like an alley or something, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Shokan is gonna be like, he's gonna have his sword out,
right?
He's gonna just lay it down and just
or imagine how extra hype it would be if like Shokan is like Sadamune's like left-hand man, where Ichikawa is maybe his right-hand man, and then like there's a future conflict with Tokiyuki, and like they got him dead to rights or something, like they got him trapped in a corner. Sadamune is like fucked up or something, can't shoot a bow. He's like, Shokan, there he is, now's your chance, bro, get him. And he's like, oh nah, Sarah, and just fucking kills Sadamune instead. Like that would be at like some badass quote from Shokan, like a smirk, turn the head to the side and just fucking slice his shit off. That would be so crazy.
Right. Definitely. But overall, on the bottom of 17, I love this kind of like narration, bringing us back to the historical, you know, time period that we were talking about last week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Just establishing where we're at in Japanese history. I love this bit at the bottom, right? This period marked the final flourishing of the wild bandit samurai, right? So like Shokan, that either means, I think what it's hinting at is that like Shokan, this what Shokan was doing, right? A bandit who had no lord, going around as a warrior with strategy, but more being a bandit and raising towns and stuff like that. Like, this was the peak of that, right? Like this battle was a perfect exemplification of this concept. But from this point on, now these bandits started to get folded into the main military establishment, right? Like, let's fold them into less banditry. We're going to try and have less violence and less chaos in our world so we can control it better. So yeah, let's have you be a regular soldier guy, right? Like, you can still kill a bunch of people. Like, don't worry, this war is not going anywhere, but not such chaotic war. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is another example of another thing that we were talking about how like there's always you know, there's always narration that lets us know about like a shift in you know, or a change overall, like just like a shift in these status quos. Like, it always tells you like this is how it kind of was before, but now we're in a new age of insert whatever of ninja stuff. We're in a new age of banditry. We're in a new age of, it's always like shifting. And that's why I say it like every week, but I appreciate the Elusive Samurai because it's bringing that didacticism back to comic books. It wants to teach you things while telling you a fictional story. You know what I mean? And it's like, where has this fucking been? It's like, I can't remember the last time there was like, even if it wasn't historical, I can't remember. Well, Dr. Stone would be.
That's a good
great example there. Okay, there we go. But this this kind of shit is rare, dude. And it's like, hell yeah, it always feels really good. I feel like because of how rare it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Last part of the chapter, obviously being this part back at home, right?
Yeah.
Tokiyuki's doing his emperor, not emperor, but his head of state duties, you know, praying for dead people, being a figurehead in these big ceremonies. But eventually he finds himself in this room with Yorishige, and Yorishige finally laying it out. Like, all right, get ready, because I got to be open with you. Like, all that stress and weirdness of me being like, no, don't go. Like, I don't think you should go. Like, that's because, yes, my future sight turned off. And don't tell anyone, but you obviously, Tokiyuki needs to know, right? Yeah. Like, you can't have this kind of magical ability and have the main character not know about it. It's just weird. And here, finally, Yorishige's agreeing with that.
And it's not just that he's the main character and he should know. He is the character that should know, period. Because his future sight revolves around Tokiyuki's accomplishments and his destiny or whatever. So
less main character, I guess, than more like the future potential shogun. You know, what I mean? Like this kid like is the boss more or less, right? Like should be the boss, so he should know. And this is so cool. This last page with like, the world still contains a mysterious power, the likes of which neither might nor intellect can measure. What the hell is he talking about? What the hell is he talking about? I wonder
what kind of concepts they're going to introduce into the story here.
Yeah, and this but see, like, at the same time, I feel like obviously there is a mysterious power inside of Yorishige's future sight, but I don't think that's exactly what he's talking about here, right?
Sure.
Right? So like, we don't know. I'm just saying, like, if that's not what he's talking about here, then like I feel like that answer is something that is going to sound like it's really high concept or something, and then is going to end up being something totally rooted and grounded in like what we understand about the world now in the future compared to like back then. You know what I mean? So I don't think it has to be something trippy and fantastical, like Yorishige's ability, if he's not talking about his ability or the source of it. But I just wanted to throw that
he's
out there.
talking about his, right? If you look at the top of 21, he says, I want you to learn about the source of my strength.
Oh, sure. The word, yes, okay. So then maybe he's not talking directly about the future sight, but maybe just like that source of power that gives him the future sight, maybe.
Yeah. If it is a generic, like, this generic source gives me in particular future sight.
Yeah.
But it could give other people other things. Like, I really doubt we're gonna go supernatural in this manga.
Yeah.
But we already are, right? We already have a guy who's future sight, right? So like,
how far into that realm are
how deep will we go into magic?
Yeah.
He does say at the bottom, obviously, don't expect a plot twist like I can throw fireballs or something. Right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so funny.
Fourth wall breaks in Elusive Samurai are so perfect because it's like the last manga you'd think would have fourth wall breaks because it's historical, like old school, like history shit, you know what I mean? So
but it has more than most.
Yeah,
you know?
It does. Yeah, it really does.
But I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked for next chapter because, well, I assume next chapter, right? Because I assume we're gonna keep with this conversation, and we're gonna go deep into this ability, right? And do y'all think this is like right on time or too early?
That's actually what I was gonna ask too. I think it's because I feel like you can go a couple ways. You can either like keep this a mystery for like most of the book, you know what I mean, or you can fucking like have it be a really like, because it's like, how long is that that initial hype for that information going to last? Because like if you keep it from people for too long, it's not like people are going to forget about it, but like you do want to find that sweet spot of like, when is the perfect time to give you that information at the height of your curiosity? Because like if the curiosity kind of like starts to plateau and you're like, all right, well, we're gonna get it someday. You know what I mean? Like I'll be here when it happens. You know what I mean? Like that's not the same as like, dude, what is this dude's power? Next chapter, you get it. You know what I mean? Like it's I think it might be right on time. You know, chapter 24 might be right on time. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think that'll do it for the Elusive Samurai then.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move into Ranger Reject, chapter 20, up to 2-0. The Bylong exams, facing the Red Invader, part 3.
Love this chapter so much.
Yes, great chapter. Starting off, basically setting ourselves up with, all the conversations that would lead to it, a 4v2, right? It's not just the Red Invader, but also the Green Invader who are teaming up against both the red colorless team and this is the green colorless team, right? So like these two teams working together, and obviously a 4v2, as they say in the chapter, right? Much more chaotic than a 2v1.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah, and like we see the chaos inside, like, well, not right away, but like it definitely does get very chaotic once Hisui.
Yeah, Hisui.
Yeah, once Hisui and fucking other dude start like boxing on accident. You know what I mean?
Tokita.
Tokita, and it's like they make a comment later in the chapter about how they're trying to force a friendly fire, or something like that. But like what was really cool to me in this chapter, and this is like, I don't even remember exactly where it is in the chapter, but I love how Hisui legitimately wants to attack Tokita.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because when you have infighting inside of the antagonist force, then that just automatically makes things 100 times more compelling, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's so common that the bad guys are all on one team, the good guys are all on one team, and the good guys, there's drama inside of their ranks because they don't really know each other, and that creates stakes. But then you have drama on the other end, that you think kind of removes some of those stakes, but like at the same time, everyone is so volatile that you still legitimately do not know what can happen at any moment. So it's that kind of chaos in these kind of situations that I like almost try to look for in manga nowadays, to like see if I can find it. And like I love Ranger Reject and everything that it does. I feel like it checks like every box for me. So 100%. So far, yeah.
No, definitely, and impressive only in 20 chapters here. We had this girl, Usukubo, the girl with the the black hair, the hair clips, and then multicolored eyes or whatever, who is injured, and she says something interesting for me on page 6, where on the top panel she says, not when I haven't been able to do a thing, not without carrying out my mission. I don't want to be dead weight. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, is this going to be another character like Shion that we're going to get a in-depth backstory and like a motivation and a mission and have her be a main character? I'd be all for it. You know what I mean? Like, the more backstories, the better, in my opinion.
I'm thinking a couple of these named characters that we got going into this arc, when we got them all like walking down the street, or whenever that panel was that introduced them and told you where they were, we got their like initial characterization. I feel like all of these characters might end up being like very sympathetic characters that like that we come to kind of like root for in like really different ways throughout the series, even if they're not directly associated with D and his goals. Like, we'll probably get subplots like, inside of all of these characters that like eventually all kind of converge, like in ways that you might not have thought they would. But like I feel like we're gonna find out that everyone wants the same thing eventually. You know what I mean? Like in their own way and for their own reasons. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be, it's gonna be cool if that happens.
Yeah. Definitely. But I love that like Hibiki, D, our main boy, tries to keep her in the fight. You know what I mean? Like, she's like obviously injured. Everyone agrees she's dead weight, and he's kind of giving her a chance to do something with his plan, right? Like, hey, can you draw? It's like, what do you mean, can I draw? You know what I mean? Like, and eventually we get into the, or at least potential of to why he wants to draw, the invaders or whatever. But just like, just this whole chapter is just such great strategy, like misdirection, like team battle stuff. Good.
And it's like, and it's great to know that this is like the kind of strength that Ranger Reject has. You know what I mean? Because it's like, outside of series like Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen, Undead Unluck, as far as like combat goes, it doesn't really get trippy strategical. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely strategy in like everything that's combat oriented that we review and then some. But like anything that has action and it has layers of strategy to it for the most part. But when it gets like so technical and so tactical to the point where there's hella sleight of hands going on in the art and like super trippy like ways to like make you think you know what's going on and then get your mind blown by some kind of twist in the action like a couple pages later. It's like when you get that kind of shit on a consistent basis, it like that shit feels really fucking good, you know what I mean? And when when you can feel that that's a strength in the offer and you're going to see it all the time instead of just in really monumental moments, it makes you really fucking excited for the future of the series. It's like, this is chapter 20, bro. It's like, where are all these manga coming from? They're just mind-blowing 10, 15, 20 chapters in. It's like, like what kind of era of manga are we in right now?
Seriously.
Yeah.
But
and of course the main
out another one of these motherfucking fire extinguishers, and we find out later he's got a whole bag of them. Like he's just got a stockpile of them, but he throws it up, lets the green dude who's a good shot nail it in the air, give him some cover, and then he gets to doing his thing.
Yeah.
And
well, at first he's just letting them infight, right? Like Nox was saying earlier, like Hisui accidentally goes after Tokita.
On page 9?
On page 9, yeah.
And then Tokita accidentally swings at her, too.
No.
You
I don't think it's
this
D.
in the middle panel.
What
there's
page?
Tokita. In the panel right to the left of that, that's D's torso with his little tie as an invader.
Wait, are you saying 9? So
no, that's Hisui.
Which page?
Oh, yeah. No, Eagle's totally right now. That this is something that I couldn't wait to talk about, because he's already like in this conflict been turning into them in this chapter.
I was thinking that too, but but where exactly do you think it's D?
Sure. So if you go to page 8, after the fire hydrant explodes, or after the extinguisher explodes, now they have this smoke screen. And then he's like talking to himself internally, and then you see that panel where it's just Tokita and smoke with a little figure in the making noise, you know, in the distance. Then the next panel to the left of that is D going back to normal from Sakurama, and then switching to Hisui as he comes out of the smoke.
Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. Okay. I could agree with that. Yeah, I actually probably do agree with that.
I don't know.
Because you see both the handkerchief ties on the top, but also the white belt.
In his invader form has the scarf on the front, not a handkerchief tie,
like an ascot.
Well, but it's
not even
still
an ascot. It's like a bandana tied like this that hangs down.
Oh, sure, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, but the ties in the back. So this should be looking from the back, right?
Right.
And D, I'm looking over at page say 19.
Yep.
The double spread.
Yep.
Where you see him in invader form.
Oh,
he's wearing a bandana, a handkerchief, an ascot kind of thing.
Yep.
But he also has a belt. He has a white belt.
That's right.
So this panel on page 9, the middle left of 9.
Yep.
To the left of this panel with Tokita by himself with this sound effect, right? That could be D. I'm not saying it isn't 100% D, right? But I guess I'm just saying that, like, you have this. Look at the whole scene, right? So we have them. Okay, then Hisui, or maybe D as Hisui, comes out of the smoke. Okay, they attack. Hey, open your eyes. It's me. She's talking. They're talking more.
Yep.
We keep going. It goes to Shion and the green guy on 11. I'm just trying to think, like, where does Sakurama come back into play? Because there's definitely times where, like, say for example, they fight, the green and red invaders fight on page 14, right? And that's where this is where Hisui's like, cut the shit. You screw up all the fucking time. It's a pain. I'm gonna fight you first. She shoots her needles or whatever these throwing knives are at him. And as they're doing this on page 16, they're yelling. They're yelling in the smoke on 16. But D is with the green guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? So I'm not saying that it's never D, especially at the beginning where maybe that on page what page was that 9, maybe that was D, maybe the first attack was D, and go back into the smoke, kind of sow the seeds of friendly fire and antagonism between the two characters, and then the next time maybe it is Hisui, but definitely the second time where she's talking on 15, like, show me some goddamn respect, even though I'm younger than you, like, that's Hisui,
right?
Because on 16 D is by himself.
Yeah,
I would think,
and her dialogue seems a lot more like personal, like only she would say that, whereas the dialogue in the last exchange seemed a little bit more general. But I mean, like, the reason why the reason that like made me originally think that that's what was happening was, for some reason, bottom page of 14, I like saw these shoes, you know what I mean? And I saw the smoke on them and forgot that they were fighting in like a fire extinguisher. Like, so I thought like that was like smoke of him transforming or something like that. And like, it just made me think that was like transforming illustration. But then like, I kept going and I was like, I don't know. But then like now I'm like starting to think that maybe he's already been transforming into them during all of this. And the reason why I'm saying that, even though it's not a flashback, he gets the drawings from Uso Kubo.
Uso Kubo,
yeah. So he gets the drawings from her and then goes, and continues and acts like he's about to start turning into them. But what I think is going on is that he was doing a very crude transformation earlier because of the fire hydrant smoke screen, and now it's starting to dissipate, and he needs the perfect transformation that comes from these pictures.
See, that's it. I see where you're going with that, for sure. That's possible.
Yeah.
The pictures to me, I'm not sure they've even been used yet, in the sense that what I think the pictures are insurance later, right? So that they can be like, it's almost like there were two Hisuis, right? What the hell happened? And they'll be like, look, these pictures. I held up this picture in the smoke, and you thought it was her, and you're a fucking idiot, right?
Yo,
where it really was D transforming. So just to have insurance of like, but why did it look like you were Hisui, right? Oh, it's because it was smoke everywhere, and I had this picture. I was being sneaky, right?
Right.
So that's if that's cool what happens, if that's what it ends up being, then I feel like he doesn't transform until he gets the pictures. You know what I mean?
Right.
To maximize the potential of not getting found out as an invader.
Sure. Yeah.
Now,
that makes sense.
If it's only to have pictures, are you kind of saying, Knox, that like the pictures were a reminder for him of exactly what they look like, so he could transform more accurately?
Because like I think that based on the explanation of how his abilities work that we have, like he has to look at you, he has to spend some time with your image or whatever, and this is obviously in the mix of action and everything is very frantic, so he can but he's still been looking at them, so he could transform into any of them in a very crude way, probably, which isn't that big of a deal because of the smokescreen right now. So then but then in the background he's having Uso Kubo draw out very detailed pictures of them, and then he can use those to kind of perfect his transformations, which we kind of see in the double spread. You know what I mean? Almost.
Yes.
I don't even. Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that now that the smoke screen is only, it has a time limit. It's eventually going to dissipate, and people are going to be able to see clearly. You know what I mean? So he's going to maybe try to, or he's going to need a perfect transformation now that there's no smoke screen. Basically,
he gonna pop another hydrant,
or he could just pop another extinguisher.
Yeah. We know he has several, so he definitely can. Definitely.
They could definitely keep the smoke screen going if they wanted to, but I have a feeling that this smoke screen bomb is going to be the only one.
The one could be.
Like on 18, when he gets the drawings, he's like, yo, these are bomb as fuck. Like, you should definitely quit the Rangers and draw comics. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, it's great to get this like kind of character development, right? Like she's good at drawing, right? And are her motivations even strong enough to make her stay a Ranger? Meanwhile, go back to, what page was this? 12, right? We got green, colorless candidate boy. I forget his name.
Yep.
The old guy.
Yep.
Talking to Shion and being like, yo, you ready? And he immediately says, like, you gotta ask, right? And so this green guy's thinking that sheer belligerence. You're like an animal. What is it that's pushing you this far? Ooh, you know it's going to be a great flashback. Oh, you know Shion's backstory is going to be so tight.
Especially with a drawing like that for him, too. Yeah. It's like, look at that fucking drawing for, like, dude.
Yep.
I love Shion. I'm on Shion's side now. He's a dick. Yep. I root for dude now.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool interactions here. Just the whole thing. Great interactions.
Yeah, great interaction between, Shion and D at the end of the chapter where he's like, I'm moving, back me up. He's like, you back me up. He's like, nah, I think the injured person should be the backup. And he's like, whatever, let's just go, man.
Yeah.
They come together a little bit more. Yeah, they a little more buddy, even if they are
like, glad to see your spirit hasn't broken. He's like, nah, just some bones. So
yeah.
Like, put a little bit of respect on him because he was like, yo, is this all just part of your plan?
Yes. Right.
So Shion kind of, has a little bit more respect for D now, Sakurama.
Yeah, it's moved down from that like enemy dynamic down to like a rival dynamic.
Yeah.
Which is like which is really cool. But yeah.
And obviously the double spread of the quote unquote page 19 double spread, where D is transforming.
Right.
From Sakurama to his regular form to Tokita to Hisui. This line, I think it's time to show these fakes the true terror of the real deal. You know what I mean? Like, ooh.
And he's always got like the fucking coolest dialogue. Like, even though he's gonna be talking about some like really complicated, sneaky, like underhanded shit, but his dialogue makes it sound like he's about to just go in there and just beat everybody to death, like with his bare hands, or some shit like that. It's like a very macho, like hype dialogue for like usually like really strong, powerful characters. But we know that he is strong and powerful in a different way, but it's just cool to think about that. It's like the true terror of the real deal, and it's not a fucking energy beam or a really strong punch. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just a great chapter. I wonder if we're gonna get more exposition about what exactly happened in this fight, or if it's going to be more. It's meant to be a little, uncertain with the smoke screen, like a smoke screen, not just for the characters, but for us too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if it's the latter, bro, then that's really cool that we can still have this kind of conversation and make out as much as what we made out, even though the art is trying to fool us to a certain degree.
Yes. Yes.
That's really cool.
I mean, how do you portray that like this Hisui isn't actually Hisui? It's literally someone who can transform into Hisui, right? So it's like it's hard to.
I was looking for some differences in them and shit, but with how good the drawings are.
Right.
I
don't know, but I'm kind of in the same boat as you after kind of reading over the chapter, looking, skimming it once more. I don't know if he has necessarily used the pictures yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I had my, I threw my idea out or whatever, and like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if the panels on page 9 are as definitive of or as clear of a picture of him transforming and turning into Shisui as I originally thought they were. You know what I mean? Like I was like when I was reading this chapter, I was putting shit together. I was like, oh shit. And then we had the conversation and it's like, oh, it's probably not really like that. And it's like, all right, well, at least it makes sense at the end of the day.
I think because the dialogue on page 6, when he asks her, do you know how to draw, right?
Yeah.
I think because he asked that so early on, at least I was like, oh, I kind of understand what you're gonna do. I was like thinking initially you're gonna make a mask or something, right? Like make something to allow the misdirection later, because obviously the whole point is smokescreen transform. So how do you allow that? How do you make that work and minimize the potential of having D get found out, right? Yeah. Draw a mask, draw something that you can say justifiably, like, oh no, I just tricked you. You're a fucking you're dummy. You're a dummy. You know what I mean? Like,
I think another thing that kind of aids the confusion of whether or not D was already transforming during the chapter is the fact that it is a very chaotic situation. It's hard to tell how much time is passing, and like it changes perspectives a lot. So like D's not always there. So like you're like in every scene, and I don't think that the mangaka is trying to show each and every perspective's exact moment like all the time. You know what I mean? It's not trying to show you literally everything they did. I think that there's very much so things happening while characters are off screen that aren't being shown eventually when we switch back to their perspective. You know what I mean? So like that's a lot that kind of like makes me think, just like that idea. I don't have anything that like hard evidence for what I just said, but that's just like the vibe that I kind of get, and it makes me think like, okay, can you draw? Now, you know, Shion and older guy are kind of boxing with, you know, with these guys. They start the explosion of the fire extinguisher, and then you just see a very confident D as the fucking shit is showering over him.
So you're talking 8, right? Page 8?
Yeah, on page 8.
That I think is your best evidence for him transforming early on, right? So for example, like middle of page 8, he looks so serious.
Yeah,
right?
he's like they don't know what I'm about to do to him. Like that's ominous, what he looks like.
Right, ominous. Then keep going. It goes to Tokita. Tokita thinking, okay, whatever, some sort of child's game. Yep, obviously it's smokescreen's trash. And then it goes immediately into friendly fire.
Yeah.
Look, and for example, look at 10, top left panel on 10. Hisui, presumably Hisui, right? But maybe D. Going like, this is friendly fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a mistake, right? Like we don't know enough about Hisui to know if that's a true reaction or if that's D, you know, playing a role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think what eliminates it from this on page 10 being D is that Hisui has internal monologue saying, "Damn, what a cheap trick." Like she's not actually saying that, but that doesn't mean that D didn't really come out real quick and try to slash at Tokita and then bounce back, you know, as Hisui, and then bounce back into the, you know, into the smoke screen, and then you turn the page and it's actually Hisui because they're all in close proximity with each other. You know what I mean?
I think page 10 is actually the best evidence that he was transforming before, because not only do you get that O, and then you know the first two interactions between them are literally just like and then sorry into the fucking smoke. You know what I mean? The chick, and then and I think it's actually a perspective.
Oh, I know exactly. Wait. Oh shit.
Left. Okay. Page 10.
Sorry.
In the middle panel.
You should go back. You should go back. We were all talking. Go back. We were all talking at the same time for too long.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I think it's actually a perspective switch in the middle of page 10 to, you know, the real Hisui.
Yes.
And then it's D coming out of the smoke again as Tokita.
Yes.
Okay. Because let me give you a hard evidence here, right? That page 10, so below the O panel, so top left panel, right below the O, but left of the one below it, blank. That blank is time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That blank is time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So like literally it's like, just you into the smoke. Time passes. Boom. Hisui. It's actually Hisui. Yeah. But the one before might have been D, I think.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think we brought it back. Holy shit. So we were super confident. Then we lost all confidence. Now we're back to wildly confident again.
That's this kind of manga, baby.
Exactly. That's exactly what this is. And I completely forgot that, like, I originally like thought too that maybe he's not just turning into Hisui, he's turning into Tokita as well. And because we were just talking about fucking like Hisui the whole time. But yes, I was like, how cold would it fucking be if he was switching back and forth between them, causing the friendly fire? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Also, bottom left of page 10.
Yeah.
Another blank, right? So so this on the bottom of 10, Tokita is attacking Hisui, quote unquote, right?
Yep.
Someone is attacking Hisui. So it says, "Whoops, my bad. Next time you do that, you're dead." Blank. Time passes. Yep. Then next page, 11, back to Tokita, but the real Tokita.
Yes.
Oh.
So then this almost confirms what I was saying earlier about how he was only transforming with his crude transformations because of the smoke screen. Because they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a minor, like inconsistency in the transformation. You know what I mean? Then now he has the full fucking pictures of them. And which could still also be used as insurance the way you said at the end of the day. But then also just to get the full perfect transformation for them so that he can continue to impersonate them after the smoke screen is done.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, wait a minute. I feel like we snapped. Can't wait to see what the audience thinks of this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm definitely curious to see if next chapter obviously gives us more exposition about what happened, right? But
but if not, I feel really good about this shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Obviously, if anyone has any comments on this, please hit us up in that special grade chat we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Definitely down to talk about this fight in particular.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I have anything else for Ranger Reject in general.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good as well.
All right, moving into Shangri-La Frontier, Chapter 4, Wazaimon's Legacy. And what a chapter! What a chapter!
Oh yeah, what a fucking chapter is right.
Bro. I think it's so hype because they saved the spoils of Wazaimon for 3 chapters.
Yep.
So now that we're finally starting to see some of that, we're like, oh.
Yeah. Starting off obviously with Pencilgon.
Yeah.
And I don't know, to me, this is obviously kind of visual storytelling, right? But to me, Pencilgon's outfit tells me that Pencilgon lost everything.
Yeah,
not levels, but money. All her equipment, all her money, everything is gone. She looks like a peasant. Her cape is short and raggedy. Tattered. Her armor is cloth armor. It looks weak as hell. It looks basic as fuck. You know what I mean? Level 1 armor. You know what I mean? She says, I'm literally flat broke. I bartered to get these clothes or whatever. Yeah, these flowers. I think she meant, right? And I don't know. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see a PKer, the biggest PKer in the server or whatever in the game. Take a new path in life to go after the plot of Shangri-La Frontier. Pretty cool.
Yes. New lease on life.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like that's cool because when you get an original motivation cleared and then a new motivation started inside of a character arc, I even though I've only been with this character for less than 47 chapters, I feel like I can already feel so much growth and development in her character just because even more so than before this chapter. You know what I mean? Because now it's you you literally just told us that that's all you wanted to play this game for. And now you know what I mean? That feels really good. I was like, okay, fuck yeah, character arc complete, just a check mark in my head. And now it's new branch. You know what I mean? And it's damn.
I'm definitely excited for her character arc going forward.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like you were saying, she was I was planning on quitting at this point, but
yes,
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they talking about with this truth shit.
Yeah, come on, bro. This Bahamut shit,
Yeah, this Bahamut. What the fuck?
Kaido.
Yeah, Kaido. Oh my god. But yeah, shifting over to Sunraku and Vash, and oh my god, I can't get enough of any conversation in Lagonia, you know what I mean? But I love that it's wait, you're literally going to start me off with a fetch quest, right? I'm literally gonna go and run and get shit and bring it back. We're really doing this right now. He's like, there's an order to this, okay? You got to do the baby quests and then we go into the big quests, right? So just deal with it, buddy.
It's you beat Wazaimon the Tomb Guard. That doesn't mean that all of the rules and mechanics of the game change for you. You still have to go do if you want to continue quest lines, you got to do it this way. It's still a game.
Yeah.
You're on a high right now.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited for this Baron Dark Ruin they're talking about. And
name fire.
Get a new fresh ass Lagonia brand map on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he will eventually. Yep.
But
currently he has just this baby map, but it's oh, you're not going to find it on that cheap map. You know what I mean? It's okay, well, I'll just go to Lagonia shop and get a cool map or whatever. Yeah.
But then we go into the Wazaimon spoils on them.
He got 28 levels off that.
28 levels.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Fantastic.
So long to grind up. How much was it before? How many did he need to grind up before the fight? Like
to get
20?
50.
He had to get 250, but I forget how many it was. Like probably 30 levels. I don't know.
Yeah, he wasn't very far, bro. He was like level like fucking 15 or 20 or something.
Yeah, something 15, 20, 25, 30.
Max 34, but still to like
to
jump this much. Yeah. Definitely crazy.
And it makes sense for
this list of skills that he's got, trying to find which ones are new. I don't know. I can't really, because I wasn't super familiar with the ones that he had
of these
before,
are new.
Like,
I think most of these are new. If you look at the list,
like Nitro Gain sounds sick as fuck. Climbing.
Nitro Gain, that does sound cool.
Glowing Pierce.
Yeah, if you look at most of these have an arrow, right? So for example, Drill Piercer has an arrow to Glowing Pierce. Skate Foot has an arrow to Drift Step. So I think all of these top, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. These top 8, these are all straight level ups, right? And then the bottom section might be new skills. I'm not 100% sure, but like they don't have arrows.
Because he's got a max level one down there, Oppression Kick level max.
Yeah, I think these are.
It could be that he got the base skill and also all the level up skills in that 28 levels. I don't know.
For sure. Yeah, I think that the top half that have arrows, I think these are activated abilities, and then. Or oh wait, no, because Assassin Pierce is definitely an
I think they're evolved skills.
I was gonna say that like maybe the bottom half was passives, like all passive abilities.
He says all these new and evolved skills.
Right.
I think the arrows are evolved skills and the other ones are new skills.
Oh yeah, because they're like level 1. No, because we know that he's had climax boost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so then
I'd say for sure the Lake Mirror Moon looks new.
He already had Lake Mirror Moon. Now it's Lake Mirror Moon V3.
Yeah. So so everything at level 1 is a new skill, and then literally everything else is like upgraded versions of shitty. Well, maybe dualism is new, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why isn't dualism level 1? Like, is dualism just dualism? Doesn't have any levels?
That's what makes me think that some of these are passive abilities. You know what I mean? Like shit that like you just have now. You know what I mean? But you can still level up passive abilities, though. You know what I mean? But it's I feel like it's more common inside of passive abilities to not have a leveling system. But whatever. This is tight though.
Yeah, he has 200. He has 200 stat points to divvy out.
To put in,
that's wild. He could literally take his agility from 70 to 270 if there's a no upper limit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So tight. I can't believe his vitality is still 2.
Yeah. Well, obviously we know that he's literally just going to give him all of the best stats that make the most sense for him because he's that good of a gamer. You know what I mean? He has that much experience. We know he's going to use these points perfectly. You know what I mean? So the only reason why his stats seemed, awkward at first is because he was trying to make the best out of the little that he had. You know what I mean? But now he's got a fucking big well of points to fucking spend, and we know that he's gonna allocate that like beautifully.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Now we get more loot. Oh my god.
Is the MP and the HP leveled up with these points, or does that just go up? Like, does he put points into those to level them up as well?
I think those just raise with your level, maybe. No, because HP and 30, MP 10, he's level 78. Yeah.
Right.
So damn. So
the two options are they are tied to a stat. Like, for example, vitality, raising vitality might raise HP, or you raise HP by itself. Those are the only two options, I think.
Yep.
What would raise MP then?
Intelligence usually, but I don't see that.
It doesn't look like he has intelligence. And his tech is pretty high, so like I wouldn't expect him to have only 10 MP with 10 tech.
So then it has to be you just upgrade those directly. It's not tied to a stat then, because why would HP be the only one tied to a stat if they both can't move normally?
Yeah. He could go ahead and just throw 22 points into each of these right now.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna go like way more like Chad about it. I feel like he's gonna like give himself like way more agility and dexterity than like anything else. You know what I mean?
I do agree. He's gonna keep
though,
min-maxing.
Yeah.
There was a recent realization of like, especially before there was Imon fight, there's like requirements for certain. He realized like items and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
so
yes,
he might go a little bit more assuming with it from here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
But we'll see what happens when he divvies them up.
Yeah,
I'm assuming we might not see him divvy them up like real time. Like we'll just get it later. Like we'll see the new stats and be like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, this Tome of Truth scene, like,
holy shit.
I was like, okay, I'm super curious about this. I'm so interested in this. Please read this right now. And he's like, I'll skip that. I'll get back to that later. And like me in video games, I do not skip this shit. Like I literally say, I'm like, all right, let's do this. And I like sit there and like read the whole shit. I want all the lore, you know what I mean? So like seeing this, I was just like, oh no, my heart.
My note was that like, yeah, he's not interested immediately, but like that's to some people worth its weight in gold. That book, you know what I mean? Like some people, that's literally what they're playing this game for.
Like that history clan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like the
I
whole,
bet
the
they
whole
might, he
niggas,
might sell it to him.
Yeah. Oh shit.
For some big buckos.
Big buckos. All your buckos.
All
Give me all
bucks.
your buckos.
Give me, matter of fact, this building. Y'all go set up in the stack.
Holy shit. Say-10 skill book, bro. When I read that.
Holy fuck.
He finna learn I was damn near hype as fucking Sunraku, like, yo, he can learn the skills of Wazaimon.
Right.
Oh my fucking god.
So here's what I'm thinking
but
about.
He's not a one-sword fighter.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So like so this is, it's either going to be he switches to like one sword style and like is just a mini Wazaimon or whatever, or just Sunraku Wazaimon, or
those skills.
Right. Yeah, me too. I feel like fuck these daggers. But especially because there's a cold-blooded katana named Harbinger in the fucking in the space with all the inventory and shit. I'd fucking throw that. Well, I mean, I would keep the waxing and waning moon blades. I would obviously keep those, but I would like toss them to the side in my inventory and grab that fucking katana right away. But no, like what I'm saying though is that like either I think it would be weird if he did replace the daggers with sword and he just became like a swordsman full time. I think the options here would be cool as if he just had like multiple, you know, like he was like a weapon master class at the end of the day.
Oh, sure.
And he just started with daggers. Yeah, exactly. And then eventually he'll want to do everything. But if he is going to stick with a certain style the whole story, then like I think it would be weird for him to get rid of the daggers for the sword. But Shangri-La Frontier is as advanced of a game as anything that we've ever seen in reality. So I'm like trying to like apply my like actual, you know, like MMORPG like experience to this. But really what I think could happen is that you learn the skill and it incorporates into your current weapons. You don't have to switch to, you know, like he's doing, imagine like Tensei with the fucking, you know, waxing or waning. Oh, he can make it a full sword. Wait a minute. Oh shit. He can make it a full sword, bro. So he can literally fusion. Yeah, he could fuse the daggers together and then use Tensei and other Wazaimon sword attacks. But then it doesn't matter if he has a sword to do like Gyuogumo or whatever that sandy hand technique was. Tachikaze, that doesn't require a sword. You know what I mean? Like all of this shit. There's a lot of shit that Wazaimon was doing that doesn't require a sword. So I think the tightest thing would be is if he learned all of these skills and then the ones that seem specific to a katana were instead just infused into his current fighting style of his daggers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to a certain degree. That'd be so sick.
Super tight. Then
we move into this inventory item, which I was talking about like on some hidden room type shit. And like, I just keep going back to the thought, like they are the only people with this shit. Like,
yes.
But does Katsu, like they all got this Say-10 thing? I mean,
I would assume so.
Not Pencilgon, but like Katsu's out here with the Say-10 shit too. But
you don't think Pencilgon did? You think Pencilgon lost it or what?
Lost everything. Yeah. Remember?
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Man, that's
that does. But then Saiger has it.
Oh,
so it's all good. Yeah, I mean,
A10
well,
Saiger on him.
Now here's the question: Would Saiger be the kind of person that, like, in a situation like that, want to loot the body of Pencilgon?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or like give it back or something, like loot it.
She's definitely giving it back. She's definitely giving back. If she did take these items, she's definitely giving back the Wazaimon exclusives for sure.
There's gonna be a moment where like Pencilgon proves, she's not a shitty person anymore, and she's on the true path of this game, and Saiger's gonna witness it and be like, you know what? Here's all your shit back. You've proven yourself. What's up?
Or she comes and does it anyway because Pencilgon fucks with Sunraku, and they're probably gonna team up again, and that's an excuse for Saiger to hang out with Sunraku.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and just give her shit back real quick so I can see my mans. You know what I mean? Dude, this Inventoria key is so fucking crazy of a description.
I can't believe Sunraku is initially a little cold about it, right? Like he says like, okay, it's like, infinite storage, item box, like, okay, not exactly a showstopper, but let's try it out.
Because he didn't think it was going to be anything in it.
No, I get that, but even so, it says, if you are killed, wear it. And if you are killed by another player, you will lose neither this accessory nor any items kept inside it. That's huge.
Yeah, he should have commented on that. He should have commented on that specific line right there.
Yes.
Yeah. But I guess this is just showing that, potentially that he's still, like, his personality is getting in the way of his, like, cold calculating gamer brain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He slaps that baby on and lands in them. And like when I seen his eyes light up in this bottom left panel of 13, I knew it was going to be something crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, move right into these fucking mechs, bro. Like, yo,
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Suzaku.
Yeah.
The fucking Byako.
Yep.
What is this one in the
Seiryu.
Dragon?
So when I read
Dragon,
this,
the tiger, the tortoise, the bird. Oh,
right. When I read this, bro,
literally,
this is literally the Saint Beast from Yu Yu Hakusho. Journey to the West, probably somewhere in there. I don't know. Maybe,
Journey to the West, right?
Yeah. But I saw this as like a Yu Yu Hakusho like reference at first, and I'm like, no, this is like just everywhere. But I was like excited like for a second to see these names. Cause I was like, bro, wait, Genbu, Suzaku. I was like, no, and I have it in like split. I'm not reading it on Crunchyroll or whatever, so I didn't get like the double page spread all together. So I clicked.
It's all messed up on Crunchyroll anyway. Like it's off by one, so it looks really bad.
Well, yeah, so I had to click through this, and like I didn't notice it at first. It was like Genbu, Suzaku. I was like, I know these names. Wait a minute. And then I see Tactical Tortoise, Tactical Bird. And I'm like, wait, that means I'm going to turn the page and then you just get Byako and Seiryu too. And I'm like, the Saint Beasts.
another huge win for Nox here on 16. Non-standard specialized armor. Adebane.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But see,
this armor looks dope as fuck.
Here's the thing, though. It's like he can't wear this, though.
Right. No, he can't wear it.
Right. But yeah, this is
because of his
he can't wear it because of his curse. Yeah, but he can rock this Harbinger for sure. And this keep out wire. I'm interested in this keep out wire.
Yeah, the keep out wire sounds cool. So
keep out wire sounds crazy. And as far as the mechs go, I think these might be mounts.
Yeah, they're mounts. I assume they're mounts. Yep.
Right. So, hey, man, it looks like the whole squad gets one too. You know what I mean? So it's like
he ain't gonna bring them all out. These are valuable machines. He can't be.
No. The whole squad has all of these items.
That's good. Now the other option is, does he have to pick one of them?
Oh, I don't think it said that. I think this is just his inventory. He can just reach into this.
I know it didn't say it. I didn't say it, but it's like, really? You get all this? Isn't this like so much?
Yeah, you're right. Oh, shit.
One of the motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But that's true. But and it is his own inventory. So I think it would be weird that since this is his space now that's tied to him as a character, that it would be like, okay, pick one, and then like every time you come back here, you can't access any of these at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? That seems kind of weird. But I could have seen
that would be some video game shit.
Yeah, I could see it though. Yes. I could see it though.
Another moment of Sunraku being like, that's some Kusoge shit. Like, what the fuck?
Well, now if it's and maybe you were already thinking this, Nick, but it could be a situation where it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this Harbinger, I'm gonna take this keep out wire, gonna take this Adebane armor, and then like leave the Byakko and the other Saint Beast shit. And maybe there is more than one weapon besides the Harbinger, and we just don't like have the full picture of exactly everything that's in here yet. But then as soon as you choose one from like each category of item, the rest disappear. Or something like that, you know what I mean? So you don't, because
I would like to think it would tell you, you know what I mean?
Oh, like, yeah, absolutely.
I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed if it didn't tell me.
Right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just that. If it didn't tell you and you're like, oh, you grab something and it's just yoink, the rest of the shit just
I guess that would be kind of weird too. Yeah, I guess it would have to tell you, yeah. But this does seem like a lot to just have, but it is because you beat Wazaimon. So and I guess it is really cool that he's just going to have something that he can hop in and hop out of. We're gonna get a whole bunch of really cool looking fights as he tries to test these things out. You know what I mean? So I'm here for it, you know what I mean? And I'm sure we're going to start getting meeting characters that like kind of start to match the threat vibe of the Colossi pretty soon too. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be he only needs to pull this kind of shit out because he's going to go fight a Colossi raid boss. Like we're going to see probably a lot of different applications of a lot of this gear, between now and the next big giant fight, you know what I mean? So
right. One last interesting thing I noticed on the last page 17, so many screws in this image, right? Like some of these limbs of some of these mechs and maybe some of these armors, like they're like Wazaimon's legs, right? Like these like screw bolt kind of things,
Yep. God, I wonder what Wazaimon looked like as a human, because we know that that's a human body inside of that armor, right? You know what I mean? And he's just a zombie, you know what I mean? So like we never saw what he fucking looked like, But now that we see that these screw legs are on these mechs, it's like he was just wearing fucking armor. Like I thought maybe that was just the way Wazaimon was, and that's just how he looked. That's the kind of character he was. But no, it seems like he was a human body in a crazy robot samurai suit. So
sure.
It's pretty crazy to think about.
Oh yeah.
And one final thing, page 10, page 11. My God, he is giving Ellum the business here, like taking her face and squishing her and blah, 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 and he's like, "Oh my God, you almost rubbed my cheeks off." Just like great comedy, and I just love seeing those panels. Like Ellum is just like so sweetie cutie.
I love Ellum whenever she's around. Just feel good shit.
So good. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm good on Shangri-La Frontier.
Me too. All right, let's move into Kaiju number 8, chapter 39. And we start off with this, text message from Pops or whatever to from Mina rather. Sorry. Mina to Kikoru, like Kafka Hibino, disposal deferred.
Yes.
Just like, yay, hooray. And I love the traditional shonen sort of motivation. Yeah, well, that's great, but I still need to get stronger so that when this guy goes off the rails, I'll be able to stop him. It's like classic.
It's like, okay, Kikoru. Also, I never noticed. I just wanted to say I never noticed that Kaiju number 8 doesn't have chapter titles.
They don't in the Shonen Jump official. On the Manga Plus app, they do make up titles.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that like just now when you just said 39 and nothing else. But yeah, what were you gonna say though, Eagle?
I was just gonna say then we get the hype introduction here of the first division vice captain Eiji Hasagawa.
Yes,
all ass motherfucker.
A bald headed dude, look like Kiko.
Oh my God! But he's almost double Kikoru's height for real.
Yeah, he's tall.
He's tall. Very, very tall. And I just love how we get the introduction of the captain as well. And she's like, "I'm going to learn everything I can. This is the best the Defense Force has to offer. The first division captain, da-da-da-da-da."
Right.
She busts open the door and he's on the PS5 under the sleeping bag, like cracked out on the game and shit.
Fire subversion.
And he's platinum rank.
Yeah, he's super fire.
Wait here for a second. Goes in there like, kicks his shit. Like, get the fuck off the game. I told you to clean up, bro.
Yeah. I love the dynamic here too, because it's like obviously this authoritative figure is like, what's going on here? This isn't how a captain should be living or whatever. And he legitimately claps back like, with logical, you know, like responses or whatever that makes sense, you know what I mean? And like that's like his character quirk, I guess, you know what I mean? Is that he's always like, you know, over analyzing or overthinking things and like saying like deep logical shit. But like that's cool. Like I love seeing that, you know what I mean? Because it's like even though this dude is so wacky, that being his quirk is like really strong for a person in this world. You know what I mean? Like if you know what I mean? Like that now that makes sense that you are number one division captain. You know what I mean? Because like you have like a personality like that. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously we have even more. It makes even more sense later when we see him fight. You know what I mean? But like that was like when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, yeah, this dude is all over the place here, but I'm already seeing qualities in in Captain First Division even before he shows what he can do physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
definitely. I love like on page 9, right? After this dude AG tells him like, you're supposed to clean your room, right? I told you to clean your room. And he's like, yeah, I heard you. But once I take that info in, whether I put it into practice or not is my choice. Isn't that right? He's like, quit trying to put a logical spin on this. You're just lazy. It's like, I love that. That's such a great personality type, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
He's like an otaku, right? Platinum rank, playing the BS5, the PS5. Oh no, my Gundam, not my 100th scale Gundam. No,
my Gundam.
My Gundam.
Carefully avoiding the copyrights here.
Gundam.
Gundam.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious, bro.
I love the comedic, illustration of the First Division captain here too on page 10, where he's like got the veins in his face. He's like, how I use my office is my goddamn business.
So good.
Oh yeah.
Kikoru beautifully kind of shifting from her initial reaction of I can't respect this guy at all, this dude's a total loser as far as I can tell, into after he gets serious, she immediately also gets serious on 12, right? He's like super serious, like, oh, okay, you're Mr. Isau's daughter, okay, and she goes, oh, okay, I need to get into the game here, right? This is literally the first division captain. I'm here to level up. Let's do this, right? Very, very good dialogue here.
Yeah. Absolutely, because it makes perfect sense for especially a younger person who comes in with all of these expectations for and probably all of these ideas of what this person looks like, how they act, what they can do, you know what I mean? And then you see this kind of behavior, and it's probably really easy to forget that they're in that position for a reason, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like so, and then snapping back to reality, like after he kind of like says like, yo, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about, I know things, she's like, oh yeah, that's right, all right, cool, boom, what's up? I love that because I feel like what that does subtly, like super in the background, is it like keeps helping us to get a better vision of what this military is like. You know what I mean? Like that was obviously a very character driven interaction, but like just these kind of qualities in these people behaving this way really helps like solidify that idea of how this military kind of operates and carries itself. I don't know if that was very long-winded. I don't know if that made a ton of sense exactly, but like I feel like I got what I wanted to, what the point out or whatever.
I feel like I felt you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into the action of this though, and like seeing that AG, right? He's like in a Gundam. He fights in a Gundam.
What the hell? It's a mech. It's a mech with fucking chain guns on the shoulders. This is cool as hell.
Yeah, it's like, yo, what kind of tech
when do we have this stuff?
Yeah, this looks so new. Like we haven't.
We're literally
seen this
fighting
before.
Godzilla.
Yeah, we're fighting Godzilla for real.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh
man.
They just fly in from above, and when we get this panel of him like flipping his hair up, he looks so fucking badass on this double spread 18 and 19 with his hair flipped back. His eyes
changed. His eyes changed. They weren't like that earlier in the chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
He's got so this is either they've changed just because it's like way more high detailed than anything that we saw before, or
look at 13. Look at bottom of 13.
It's Kaiju still dark, people. Human.
I think it's Kaiju related, right? Or not necessarily Kaiju infused, but like the suit. Something about the suit or the Kaiju infusion or something is changing his eyes to be like that. Yeah. His eyes aren't always like that, which is very cool.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if we can Yeah, it is consistent too. No matter, yeah, it is consistent. So
Mm-hmm,
I was gonna say maybe I'm definitely more so on board with the fact that it is changing and it is something like that. But I was just gonna throw the idea out that maybe it was just because it's a close up
HD,
it's
yeah,
HD,
close up HD,
you know what I mean? And like maybe
yeah.
there's like some light happening in front of him to some degree, or you know,
Sure,
it's just
sure.
making his eyes look different. But no, definitely, and I do think that it is like kaiju genetics related for sure. I think that at this high of a rank, maybe either you're asked as a guinea pig or you're given the option, you know, to kind of undergo some kind of shit that enhances you in a very safe, humane, you know, like way to a certain degree without like turning you into a kaiju. Maybe they figured, you know, the before stage out, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, so this was the dude who had the giant knife after Kafka, and it is a gun too.
It is a gun too. That's very cool. Like now we even see like the trigger, and obviously he does shoot it, right? So like, yep, totally, obviously a gun. A part that like was a little confusing to me at first on page 20, right?
Yeah.
He's on page 19. He's dropping from the helicopter. He has his weapon in this kind of, you know, metal box with these, you know, this kind of caution tape pattern on it.
Yep.
And then on the top of 20. The box breaks apart. It opens up into this blade gun, and the panel I was most confused about was the top left of 20.
Yep.
This twick thing, right? And I was kind of like, what is this meant to portray? And now that I've seen it many times or whatever, it's kind of more obvious that like the gun is folded at least in half once, right?
Yep.
But like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like hamburger style.
Also flips out.
Yep, exactly.
The blade is like alongside the whole gun.
Yep.
And flips out, you know, to make it longer. It's not flipping out in the same plane as the blade.
Yeah.
But like sideways.
Yeah, it's like a Swiss Army knife.
Not like a Swiss Army knife.
No, just like a regular like foldable stock on a gun. They flip to the side and mount.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I don't know jack about guns. I totally believe you. But yeah, folding from the side, not like a knife, not like a Swiss Army knife. A Swiss Army knife is like down, like in. Yeah. But like this is out on the side.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Right?
Yeah, because there is a horizontal motion.
Horizontal turning. Yeah.
Horizontal unfolding. Yeah.
Yep. And if you look on the middle panel of 20, kind of near his hand, near his right hand, kind of more left and down, you can see that place where the hinge is, right? It's where the hinge where it flicks out or whatever. So it's just cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. I totally have the vision now. I literally thought it was like a Swiss Army knife just coming out of you know, the groove on the side, on the, you know, inside of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it was literally on the side of it.
Yeah.
Fire.
So Eagle, you're saying that's like a gun stock kind of more common thing or whatever?
Yeah, like if you have a foldable stock on a gun, it's gonna fold to the side like that.
Okay.
It has a pivot point that allows it to just kind of like flip to the side of the gun, and then it kind of sits there.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice. Good stuff.
But he's got like a lightning sword gun, because you get and then you got this lightning on the top panel of page 21 here, where he one shots the fuck out of this Godzilla kaiju.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it's like, okay, giant stab damage with a taser to stun you as he shoots you and blows you up with whatever ammo is inside of the gun. That's fucking. Yeah, that's a first division captain weapon if I've ever seen one. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we get the finalization of his quote here. He's like, "I've only got one demand. Show me overwhelming skill. I don't need someone who's well-mannered yet inept." As he's standing on the corpse of the kaiju looking badass as fuck. Like
sitting on his weapon, crouched on his weapon, sticking out of the corpse.
For real. And she's so hyped, like, now you're talking. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
immediate respect in every sense of the word. Just like, damn, this dude's cold as fuck.
Yeah. And it's great because at the beginning, she was like, I can't muster an iota of respect for this dude. And then it's like obviously we knew that as soon as he turned up, physically, she was gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, like he's gonna obviously show what he
which
can
I
do.
knew was coming for real. As soon as I seen him, I'm like, I don't care. I know this dude's nasty as fuck. The fact that he was playing video games even solidified it further for me. I'm like, yo, this dude's about to be sick. Nasty.
I was originally like, when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, so like maybe he's like a first division captain for like an entirely different reason than like physical prowess. You know what I mean? And I was like, I was thinking of other ways that he could have possibly gotten to this rank without being like a physical badass. And then I was like, no, I was like, no, you gotta be that guy. Yeah, I was like, it was very short lived. It didn't take me to the end of the chapter. I thought about it. I was like, no, this motherfucker's gotta be cold.
So before we end the segment, right? Eagle, your comments about how this dude is at least 90%, you know what I mean? Reminds me of Kikaru's point when she is she's witnessing the first division work, right? And she says, page 16.
They all must be over 40%.
They all must be over 40. Every single person must be over 40. Like every officer. That's fucking wild.
I'm assuming based off of like the equipment they're operating, right? Like they're all in like
and how
machine guns and shit and missile guns and whatnot.
And the output that they're doing and the teamwork and just the strength, the power that they're outputting. Is impressive to her and pretty tight.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Kaiju number 8, man.
Yeah, I think that's about all I had for Kaiju.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the last chapter of the evening. Undead Unluck, chapter 70. Spring. Tight chapter. Tight chapter.
So fucking tight.
Sir.
We open up with the gang kind of strategizing.
Yeah.
It's talking about what they're going to do here and waiting on a, signal from Fuko. We get a little bit of comedy where it's like a couple of them are really down about it. She's like, Tatiana's like, she can't possibly send a message. What are you talking about? And Buddy's like, nah, no signal yet. Like, I'm watching.
Yeah, it's like, what is that from? Like, they have some sort of secret communications device or something. That's pretty cool and interesting, right?
Yeah.
Andy's trying to piece together, like, all right, like, what is Billy gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, how can I use my huge breadth and depth of experience to figure out what their next move will be?
Yes.
Moving over to Spring. Spring is tight, right?
Dude, I love Spring's design. I love his demeanor. Yeah, bro, like all of that shit.
Love he's talking, love he's drinking, love he's just chilling. He's just trying to enjoy the cherry blossoms that he's creating or whatever.
Like we were talking about, he's a humanoid form, already. He's talking too.
Yep.
Full sentences, I mean, also Autumn did, but
yeah, I think it's like a phase 2 thing, right? Like when Autumn went into phase 2, Autumn started talking.
Yep.
At least from my memory, anyway.
Summer.
From what?
Summer didn't though.
That's true.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not all phase 2s can talk, but the humanoid types maybe can say. Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, Spring is fucking dope.
Hell
super tight.
Sitting
super
here
tight.
on top of a tower, just drinking like a motherfucker, watching the soccer blooms.
Love that.
The page turned into like launch the nuke.
Bruh.
For a second, I thought they were actually gonna like successfully launch a nuke, and I was like, "Damn, this story's taking a turn I did not think it was gonna take." You know what I mean?
Gonna level Japan real quick, like damn.
Right. Or at least Tokyo. Like they're talking about like 10 million people in Tokyo getting obliterated, right?
Yeah. And then Nox, getting a little bit of gratification here on this white and black haired dude.
Creed.
Undecreased,
dude. I'm like so like, because this is like the one that we've been trying to like think about for like so long or whatever, like this and Latla, you know what I mean? And like Creed, it's like it's with Undead Unluck, it's always either going to be, an unword that like makes perfect sense in the moment and you go, duh, or Tozuka just makes up, some shit to like fit like what he needs or whatever. And it's like, And I'm sitting here.
Is undecreased?
It's not even like a real one. You know what I mean? It's just one that he just put an un in front of so that his naming convention can fit in with what his ability is doing. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's like, oh damn it! I like, because I was sitting here going like, okay, it's going whenever we get Creed, it's gonna make so much sense. It's probably going to be like unarmed. And then, but the name doesn't work. But then you're gonna find out that like the Japanese, like, you know, like pronunciation for unarmed, like, is like Cree something, you know, or so, you know, I thought it was gonna be something like that. You know what I mean? But no, it's just decrease with the word un in front of it, and it's like, well, god damn it. But I love it. I think it's cool, and it makes all the sense. Like, it's still cool to know that the reason why
the ability's cool.
Yeah, he wasn't, because in the Tatiana arc on the yacht, he was shooting from that Gatling gun, and they were like, "Do you see a clip anywhere? Like, where the fuck are these like bullets coming from?" And it's like he can't decrease, like undecrease. You know what I mean? He can't run out of ammo. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's fucking cool. But I mean, why are we getting the name card for it in this scene? Is he using the ability?
Yeah. He's using it with the nuke. With the nuke.
Right. How though?
So his ability, I think, is it creates a bullet. A grenade, a bullet, a nuke, a bomb. It creates one. You shoot it, and you don't get it back until it detonates. Right?
Okay.
So the undecrease is I'm increasing the number of nukes in the world by 1. The nuke now has to explode, and then I'll get it back. It's definitely a very...
I do not understand that right now. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. What is that? Okay, so like, yeah, like I do, but like, I'm like,
imagine a gun. I shoot a bullet.
Yes.
Now I've used a bullet, undecrease.
Yes.
I can't go down in my number of bullets.
Right. So
another
one has to replace it. As long as I use
them. Right. As long as I use them, so one has to replace it. So I shoot it. I can't go down in bullets. I have to use it, get it back. You know, you keep shooting them, you keep getting them. Right. But because the nuke didn't explode, it didn't trigger the ability. So you never get it back.
Yeah.
Oh.
It didn't decrease, or rather, like the decreasing is the using. I created it. Now it would decrease if it blew up, but it didn't blow up, so it didn't decrease.
It still exists. It's still there.
It still exists. Yeah. It didn't trigger my ability to undecrease.
Right. So they already had the nuke.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Because that was the part that was throwing me off. Yeah, because like I'm sitting here going like, how could, like, what's the point? Like, how does the bullet get created if one wasn't taken away already? Like, he can just spawn a weapon out of midair, and then now he has one of it, and then he shoots it and has one again. Right. I'm like, how does that first one get there because of his ability? You know what I mean? So like, that's why I was so confused.
Right. Now that you say that, they probably had a nuke already.
Right. Yeah. Then that makes everything make sense.
They didn't create the first one, but once you have a thing, once you have an expendable item,
and he's in charge of expending it, then
he unexpends, it undecreases and replicates itself back in whatever, in the nuke silo or back in your gun's magazine or clip or whatever.
Yeah.
It just reappears or whatever.
Yep. All right. I'm cool now. Yeah. I'm good now. Yeah. So then they're like, okay, launch the nuke. They already have one there. He presses the button, and then because he shot it. So wait, if it didn't explode, so therefore it hasn't decreased. Why are we getting this undecreased name tag here? If it never actually,
if the ability, he's still using his ability.
How?
But that would be the question.
Ability on the missile when he launches it to undecrease it. You know, so
when it does explode,
when it blows up, then it would reappear.
So wait, do we know that it didn't come back because it didn't explode? Because now I'm thinking that
he says implicitly on page 14 on the bottom left panel, well, I can't shoot any more nukes unless I use them up. My undecrease won't activate.
Okay, so it was literally just telling us that his ability is undecreased. He wasn't actually using it yet. He was just firing the nuke. It gives us the name of his ability, and then because it didn't blow up, it never actually happened. He never actually used undecrease.
He definitely activated his ability when he pressed the button, but since it didn't blow up like you said, it didn't happen.
But didn't he have a dialogue bubble that says I can't use my ability's not going to activate? Because it didn't.
That was on 14 after he used his ability. Tried that.
He could use it again.
Oh, can't use it again. Yeah.
This is getting back to
they didn't get the nuke back. He says I can't shoot any more nukes.
Yeah.
Right. So now the question is, did he use the ability on 6? And I think we would like to assume he did, right? We would like to assume you don't show the name of the ability unless you're using the ability, right? So there's 2 reasons, there's 2 ways he could use it here. 1, his ability creates a bullet, creates a bomb that will not be recreated unless it is used. Or 2, he uses his ability
targeting the bomb.
Targeting the bomb.
And then once it completes its thing, then the whole ability will have happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think either one I think would work. I think now that I like the targeting. You target the bomb, external targeting type. You target the bomb and say, I'm going to use you in this special way. Fire. If it explodes or hits or whatever, does something, then it will remanifest. But because it didn't because it didn't blow up, it didn't remanifest. So he did use his ability, targeting the bomb the first time.
Yes.
But he couldn't, there's no more bombs to do it on.
Otherwise what it would have to be is we get the undecrease text because he fired the bomb and it was instantly replaced by another one. You know what I mean? But then that obviously didn't happen. So so it has to be the other thing. But that was just the only other reason I could think of as to why we would get that right there. Yeah.
I think it's very good for us to have had that conversation, right? Because I agree with you, it is a little vague what the ability is doing.
Right.
And you'd like to think, I think we'd all agree that we want on page 6 to, when you see that undecreased tag card or whatever, you want that to mean he's literally using it this second.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it feel a little weird to be like, I'm going to use it. My ability name is undecrease, you know what I mean, or whatever.
But then so it's an external targeting type. Right, and then you just target your ammunition. So does that mean he has to see it?
Or is the firing like if you say, for example, you pull a trigger, the trigger does something in the mechanism of the gun, hits the bullet, and it's like, say unluck for Fuko.
Yeah.
You touch someone, it's passing on.
Oh, boom. Yes, exactly. It's in his hand. All of the shit is in his hands. So it's by
he's
touch,
hitting a button, which is transferring to the bomb, which is shooting the bomb, which is, the whole thing is connected through the act of pushing the button, maybe.
And just touching things in general. So
sure.
So he grabs the gun, shoots it, the gun respawns the bullet because it's in his hand. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, the nuke here is obviously some sort of remote controlled,
absolutely,
click kind of thing.
But the laws follow it, follow it back to the root of the action.
Right. Here is definitely another one. If anyone listening or whatever wants to hash out more of what this undecrease ability is literally doing, obviously let's talk in the special grade chat.
Absolutely.
I think we'd love to talk about this one in particular. As well, because it's definitely a more abstract, a little less clear ability.
Yeah.
So tell us what you think, or whatever. But
4th of July fireworks with this dude would be lit.
Oh shit! Yes.
Have him lay on the ground in between the tubes of the mortars, like holding them both, and then you just light them right back in the tubes.
Yeah.
Yep. But the nuke is fired, and everyone's obviously freaking out for good reason.
Yep.
I love this spring. Oh my god. Trying to interrupt my spring cherry blossom viewing. Oh man. So
my favorite Uma, easily.
Easy.
We haven't even he hasn't even done shit. But he's the best Uma.
And he whips out the dice on him.
Yeah.
He said, if I win, I take the nuke. Like, that shit. When he said that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then he fucking.
So before we go too far, right?
Yeah.
Interesting how he phrases it on page 8, on the bottom left, page 8, right?
Before the booze kicks in.
Well, he's saying before the booze kicks in, I love that. That's just hilarious and great, or whatever, But he says, how's about we play a game? A cannon? and cannon's in bold, right?
Yep.
So is it that, like, what is his ability targeting? What is the artifact targeting, right? Is it targeting the cannon that shot the nuke? Is that what he's targeting? Or is cannon a name of an Uma, a name of something or someone? You know what I mean? Like, why is Cannon? Why is he talking to Cannon? To a cannon? To the cannon?
Unless he has he actually called this thing a nuke? No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Oh, he did on 9. He said, "If I win, I take the nuke."
Okay. Yep, he does. Okay.
You're wondering if he just thought it was a big bomb or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that he was just calling the nuke itself just a cannon because it's like just like a more.
Right.
Yeah. A more
yeah.
But I think
the game he's playing go for Eagle.
I was just gonna say I don't think it was supposed to be comedic when he says I've got some time till the booze kicks in. I think maybe that's his next condition. If he drinks a certain amount before you kill him, then he levels up again type shit.
Oh. That would be really interesting.
A drinking related condition. Slapped. Yeah, drinking related condition would be cool. There's a lot of things that a lot of really cool ideas that I feel like are all related to spring in some way. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like people, drink more. You know what I mean? Like like in the spring coming out of winter and shit like that. You're like just out more and being more social. You know what I mean? So like more drinking, and then you have
you let him drink that 5-story cask of sake like it's over.
Yeah,
he's gonna go phase 3. And it's really over for you.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can totally see that.
This cup has this like
that same symbol, that unbreakable symbol. They're under or whatever. Yeah. I totally. So I know what you mean.
Like, where'd you get that, buddy?
Right, and it's almost like the artifact symbol, but as we've seen, like it's not the artifact symbol. It's half of the unbreakable symbol. But it's like so mysterious. Like, why does that have that same motif or whatever?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The game, obviously, that traditional gambling game we've seen in so many, anime. Like, say, for example, Samurai Champloo, right? Chohan, right? Like, you're calling out even or odd after rolling or before, when you're rolling the dice or whatever, and if you call even or odd correctly, then you win or whatever.
Yeah.
Even, for the record, is more rare.
Right. I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure one of them, it's like not evenly split on how many.
It's not even.
How many options that there are for even and odd. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir. Oh shit.
So cool. And then like this, like kind of 10-11 double spread spring. Nothing beats spring. Interesting. He's saying nothing beats spring. Oh, are you saying, Eagle?
I hear him with a very jovial, like, upbeat kind of goofy voice actor.
Type shit. Yeah.
Maybe like Jiraiya. Maybe maybe
Jiraiya voice would be so good on spring, bro.
Right.
No.
Or like Raizo, even maybe. I don't know.
Yes. Something like yo. Like something like that guy.
Yeah.
From One Piece, for example. Now it's interesting that like.
Oh, Kumadori's perfect.
Yeah, Kabuki theater voices.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Now in 11, he's saying nothing beats spring. And the little note at the bottom left actually says the fans say one, nothing beats spring, and the other one says coming of spring/fortune. Now, nothing beats spring here is actually spring is number 1. Spring Ichiban. On the right fan says, I forget what spring is off the top of my head, but yeah, Ichiban is the middle and right characters on that right fan. So it's interesting that nothing beats spring. It's really more technically like spring is number 1.
Right.
Spring is the best, right?
Hell yeah.
Which also means nothing beats spring. But interesting that like the other fan coming of spring/fortune, right? Where they quickly are realizing that spring is using a luck-based artifact, this dice rolling thing.
Yes.
And they realize, Fuko is going to be pivotal for this fight, obviously.
Yeah.
But is spring luck? Like, is that what spring is? Is spring, like, for example, there's burn and unburn. Unburn being the negator, burn being the Uma. Is Spring literally Fuko's luck Uma? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unluck versus there could be a luck Uma, or is it Spring? Is Spring the luck Uma?
Yo.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yes.
I feel like it would fit too, right? Like I don't know, like Spring, like it's a new birth, new chances for things for life. You know what I mean? Like it just it feels like it could be related to luck in some way.
I love that, dude. That's fucking cool.
Regardless, it's tight as hell. Regardless, I'm super stoked just to see more of this character, obviously. But yeah, going into talking about the artifact and stuff. What are we talking about, Eagle?
I was just gonna say, then we kind of move into the under stuff. Did you guys want to stay on the artifact?
No, I think I'm good on the artifact. Yeah.
No, I think the artifact is clear or whatever.
Yeah, the under stuff, like I just really enjoy this, like further solidification of this determination from Fuko to like really see this through, and like the vibes she's giving off almost make me feel like we are going to spend some significant time with like Fuko doing her own shit maybe, and they're not really going to save her anytime soon. Yeah. She might even tell like Andy, if he shows up to the spring fight, like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm on it.
Don't you trust me?
Solo shit right now. Yeah. I'll handle this myself.
You know that would be a really cool scene. I think I was talking about it like a week or two ago that like I think Tozuka is going to give her like all of the time she needs to like accomplish her character's like situation right now before she's saved. You know what I mean? So like, even though it'd be cool if he did try to pull up and save her and she's like, get the fuck away from me until I'm done, I think it will most likely happen like they'll pull up right after she's already done accomplishing everything.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even want like the idea of breaking in and trying to save her to even like be a thing that's teased, because they already had that very serious conversation before she left, like, let me do this, like I got this, I'm going to go do this. And even though Andy was like, fuck that, we're gonna go break her out, I think that we've already gotten enough of that from the separation, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right. Solid chapter overall. Very much enjoyed it. I mean, tons of stuff, right? Creed, Undecrease, Fuko's motivation. I totally agree with you, Eagle. Like Fuko's motivation and this kind of like monologue she has at the end is just so hype. It's so great for her character. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
It is, bro. I feel like
we get some more Rip, just Rip his gang type shit.
Yeah.
Like, when Fuko's like, I'll do it, he just gives a little smirk, like
one smirk. Yes. All you need from the boy. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
No words, keeping it under wraps that he is gang.
Yeah.
The last second, because we did get from Ano-un, like, you are one of the pivotal players.
Yeah.
Rip and Latla. So
silent gang smirk.
For real.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, beautiful double spread to end the chapter off too.
Man.
Mount Fuji in the back. Spring got a good view right now.
Dude, Spring.
Dude.
Like so hype on Spring. I wonder if that mask will come off.
Yeah, the mask is interesting. Will it come off? His backpack. That's like a traditional, I think, like a medicine seller's backpack. This kind of square sort of case or whatever.
Nezuko box. Yeah.
It's similar to Nezuko box, or like I don't know. There's a lot of
for sure
anime with this kind of medicine seller trope or whatever. So that thing might be full of artifacts. Might be full of artifacts. Might be full of items. Might be full of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that backpack isn't probably just some box full of nothing, right? Like that could be some drastic
whip
stuff.
A weapon out of that whole like.
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah, some big ass whip.
Yeah, that'd be some shit. But yeah, it's definitely filled with all types of goodies. That's probably why he has the fucking unbreakable dice cup.
The dice cup.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's probably got like a menagerie of shit that he's about to pull out then. Like,
yeah.
Man, that'd be intense if like they were up against some Uma that had like many artifacts, right?
Yeah.
Even one artifact is really, really powerful.
It's a really big deal, right? But now it's about to be like probably no, because that implies that they come in to help Fuko. Yeah. So I don't think I didn't think it was gonna be a union under team up to fight the dude with 17 artifacts. Like that would be definitely an epic conflict, but I think Fuko handles this dude. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
So it's like,
I don't know, man. It's hard to imagine. You know what I mean? Like, yes, she could. I'm sure she could.
Yeah.
But
not solo. Definitely like Under's gonna be there boxing with him, distracting him, like whatever, and she's gonna deal final blow type shit, or she'll be, you know, the biggest factor, you know, in the defeat. But I definitely think she will have help. But like, it's not like Union Under together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, good stuff. That's all I had. How about y'all?
Yeah, I'm good too.
That's all I had as well. Yeah.
Fire discussion.
Oh, one more actually. One more minor thing. Sorry. So when they were talking about the nuke, right, and the Spring disables the nuke on page 12, Chikara says on the top left panel of 12, "Whew, a dud. You know, thank goodness for Ryo. You know." And for a minute I was like, "What are you talking about?" But Ryo is his friend.
Oh,
remember that kid who was like at the school that was like, "Oh, you know, Chikara, like we're buddies, right?"
And can't leave,
you can't leave, yeah. So Ryo is that kid. So he's more saying here like, "Oh, good thing my buddy Ryo didn't get nuked." You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So if anyone was curious about that, that's what that is.
Lovely, beautiful. That kind of shit is really important in Undead Unluck, I feel like. So it's good.
Yes. Yeah. So consistent all the way through, just the whole story. So.
Hell yeah.
But that's all I had.
Yeah, great combo, you guys.
So, I think that'll do it for this week's Special Grade podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, and thank you all again for subscribing to the Patreon at this level of support and producing these Special Grade episodes. We could not do it without you, so thank you very much.
Thanks, gang. Yes.
Hit us up in the Discord in that Special Grade chat, and we will see you next time. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Nickums.
Knox.
Eagle.
Peace, y'all.